Okay. Yeah, actually, he's lanky, but I think he's tall. Maybe he can like stretch himself. Maybe he's elastic or something like that.
Yeah, I guess you already know that because I probably showed you it multiple times. His body is made of rubber.
Uh, Actually, I didn't know that, but okay.
Okay. So this is his design on the start of the story, and this is how he looks now.
Okay.
What do you think? Which one is better?
I think the first one.
First one?
Yeah, he looks more normally, I
Yeah,
think.
I prefer the second one, but I understand why people would like the first one. So, as I said, his body is made out of rubber, and everything in his body is made out of rubber. So he can make his heartbeat multiple times faster than normal because his body can handle that,
Okay.
or pump air into his bones to make them bigger. Don't ask me. This is anime. Like it
Yeah, this is
works.
weird.
It works. Okay. So the second character. This is him
Hmm.
on the start of the story.
He has some swords, I guess. He's a bit muscular, but maybe he's actually only a great warrior, something like that.
Okay. You're not wrong. What do you think his role on the ship maybe?
He could be actually a captain, I guess.
Captain was the main character, the first one.
Ah, okay. So who could he be? Maybe he's doing the organization stuff and something like that. I don't know.
He is the first mate, but he doesn't really work on the first mate. Okay, so this is his design now.
Oh gosh. Definitely the first one.
They basically every single part of the story they change their uh, clothes, so it's hard to judge. Okay, so how do you think? As you can see, he has three swords.
Yes.
How do you think he is using the third sword?
Oh. Maybe he grows a third arm or something like that.
No, he
Oh,
actually put
okay.
it in his mouth.
Ah,
Uh,
okay.
Pretty unrealistic, but it works in in One Piece.
Yeah, he must have uh, very much power in his teeth.
Yeah. Next character. What do you think she's role on the ship maybe, and her like moveset, powers?
She looks like a private, I guess. I don't really know how, yeah, the names of the ship crew, but actually she looks very normal. But maybe he can change in something, maybe animals or something like that.
Actually, she doesn't have the devil fruit because there are like fruits that give you special power, but they take your ability to swim. So if you ate one, you can swim.
Okay,
But not every character ate one.
okay.
So this is her now. Which one is better?
Hmm. Yeah, the second one looks more like yeah, for only adults. I name it so. But in terms of her face and appearance, I guess the second one is better.
I prefer the first one. To be honest, it's
Yeah, she looks very cute here. Oh,
yeah. So this is our next character, and she was a navigator on the ship.
okay.
Next character. What do you think he used for fighting and what his personality might be?
He looks a bit like inventor, I guess. Maybe yeah, he has some kind of I guess robots or something like that, and he used them to fight.
Yeah, you're not too far off. So this is him now.
Okay. I think he don't look the same.
He changed quite a bit.
Yeah. But the second one is better, I think.
Yeah, I can agree. So he's actually a sniper and he doesn't use guns, he uses a slingshot.
Okay.
Like a weird choice, but it appears that slingshots are more effective than guns
Okay.
in One Piece. Okay, so next character. What do you think his personality might be like and his role on the crew?
I think he's like something connected with psychology, because yeah, he looks a bit that he can control your mind or something like that. Maybe.
Okay. So this is him now.
Okay. He looks a bit different, but yeah, he has something about his eye, doesn't he?
No, actually his eyes are normal.
Okay. Who could he be? I don't know. Maybe that's unexpected here. So maybe he was a cook.
Yes, he is a cook.
What?
Yes, he is a cook on the Straw Hat ship, because the pirates are called Straw Hats.
Okay. Actually, this was my thought because he smokes here.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know, but I thought he maybe.
So for his personality, he is what would be called a pervert.
Okay.
I would call it this way, without going much in details.
Yeah.
Okay, so because he uses his hands for cooking, he learned that he can fight with his hands, because if he loses hands, then he won't be able to cook.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
his fighting style is exclusively kicks, and he somehow can lead them all on fire.
Okay.
Anime, I guess. I didn't really see any explanation on that, any discussion video about that. Okay, so next character on the crew.
What is that? That's not a human.
Yeah, you're right.
But what's that? It looks strange, like fusion with a cat and I don't know, a beer or something like that.
Okay, maybe if I show you how he looks now, maybe it will become clear.
No.
No?
Okay. So he's a multiply animal, I guess.
He's a reindeer. Reindeer that eat human food. So he can transform into a human.
Okay.
He's actually the least old member of the crew.
Okay.
Here he is only 15 years old and 17 here. So which design do you prefer?
I think the first one.
The first one? I am
Yeah,
actually
it's not-
one of the few fans online that prefer the second one. So what do you think his role on the crew maybe? Because of course he does have a role.
Maybe he's is organizing the food. I don't know.
It might be connected to this cross symbol on his hat.
Cross. So he's looking for treasures?
Actually he is a doctor.
Oh,
And he
Okay.
wants to become the greatest doctor in the world. It was possible because he ate the human fruit, so he gained like human intelligence. Okay, and his fighting style is based on changing into multiple forms because there are types of devil fruits, and the type that he ate are allowing characters to transform into multiple forms. And he has like form for walking, his normal form, like arm form or muscle form or something like that. I don't really remember this character. This is like the funnest one, Kung Fu point, where he transforms into like Kung Fu fighting, and all of a sudden he knows Kung Fu really well. Okay, so next character. What do you think she may be like, and her role on the crew?
yeah, she looks actually very normal to comparison to the other ones, but maybe she can, I don't know, fly or something like
Actually, she can fly later in the story.
that. Okay.
Okay, this is her now.
Yeah, she looks a bit different. I think the first one was better.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I prefer the first one. And what do you think her role on the crew is?
She looks like a entertainer, maybe.
Yeah, that's what people say, but she is actually an archaeologist.
Oh, okay.
Without going into details why they need archaeologists on the ship. So her powers, she actually ate a flower fruit. So like, you think it is something to do with flowers, but no, she can spread her limbs everywhere she see. So she can make like her hands appear on some other places. Like in this on this picture on her arms, she made additional hands, but she can also sprout them like on the floor or on the walls.
Yeah, it's
Unusual.
weird. Yeah, unusual.
Yeah. So next character, what do you think his personality is?
Oh, yeah, he looks like very self-confident and
Yeah.
powerful.
You're not wrong.
I think his power is connected something with his muscles.
Okay. So what do you think his role on the crew may be?
Maybe he keeps the ship that it works.
Yes,
something
he's
like that.
actually a shipwright. You're right.
Oh,
So this is his design right now in the story.
it's strange now.
Yeah, he's like an inventor or whatever. So he modified his body because he's actually a cyborg. Obviously cyborg.
Mm.
And as you know, shipwright job is something really like detailed, and he has a ginormous hands. So how do you
Yeah.
think he works around that?
Oh, maybe he can make himself smaller?
He actually has a second pair of hands inside of his hands.
Okay.
Just funny stuff like that, and like he can shoot lasers, missiles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so next up,
Is that a skeleton?
yes,
Then he's alive.
yes,
Okay.
he ate revive fruit, so he came back to life after dying for the first time.
Okay. He looks like very intelligent. Yeah. Hmm.
Okay, what do
Yeah.
you think his role on the crew may be?
What would he do? Maybe because yeah, he lived once, so he know more than they, so he's supporting them with knowledge or something like that. I don't know.
Not really. I think it's going to be a little bit obvious after his current design. So
Oh, he's just a musician.
yes, he is a musician.
Okay.
For his personality, he's actually another pervert on the crew, and this is like pretty much the only thing worth talking about. Where Sanji, the blonde one, was a bit more like a gentleman in his pervert. How do you say that? He was a bit more of a gentleman.
See or something like that.
Yeah, and this one is like straight up just pervert and nothing else.
Okay.
Okay, so for his powers, he is a swordsman, and he can like channel the cold of underworld because he is dead.
Yeah.
It makes sense somehow. And he can control like souls with his music because his name is Soul King. Soul King Book. So the last member on the crew.
Okay, it looks like a bit of a gene because he's blue. He's a bit round shaped, I guess.
Yeah, this is the only picture I've got for him because he is pretty old. He haven't changed a bit.
What could he do? Maybe he's training them? Or something like that?
Actually, he's a healthman, so he's controlling like the, helm.
Yeah, Okay.
Okay. So he's actually not a human. He's a fishman. There are fishmen in One Piece, so they can swim and they have like a special fighting style, fishman karate. Okay, so for his personality, I think he can get some really serious, but he is also a funny guy around Straw Hats.
Oh.
Okay, so this was their ship on the start of the story.
It looks nice.
Yeah, what do you think it's called?
There's a goat. I don't know, maybe goatee.
It is a going merry.
Oh. Okay.
And this is their ship now.
It changed a bit, but
This is
it's
actually a
still
different
cute,
ship
I
because the previous one got way destroyed pretty much.
Oh. But this one is also cute, I think.
Yeah, it is
It
called Thousand Sunny.
Oh.
So next up we have a different character outside of the crew, but they could be like allies uh, and other friendly characters, but they could be some villains and like foes around the world. So do you think this one is friendly or?
Yeah, he looks like he's friendly, but that you must have something for him that he can help you or something like that. You know, he's very yeah. He's not a volunteer, I would say.
Okay, you're pretty much right on the dot. So what do you think his power may be? Because he ate a devil fruit, so he obtained some kind of power.
Maybe he can, I don't know, control some ghost or something like that.
He can transform his body into sand and manipulate sand.
Oh,
So the way Luffy defeated him, like on the start of the story, because he was a main antagonist in one of the starting arcs. Luffy defeated him by covering his body in water, so he couldn't transform his body into sand if it was wet.
okay.
Okay, I guess next up, another brilliant character. Do you think he is friend or foe?
Yeah, he's definitely evil, I would say.
Yeah, I think they will form an alliance, but at the start of the story, he's definitively evil.
He looks like a fusion with a pirate and a clown.
Yeah, because his name is actually Clown. Buggy the Clown.
Oh.
So, what do you think his powers may be like?
Maybe he can disappear something?
Okay, this is how he looks now.
Yeah. So maybe he can change himself in what he wants? I don't know.
His actual power is Bananomi, so it's like chop chop food. So he can separate his body parts, and he is immune to cutting attacks.
Okay.
So if you cut him, he just separates.
That's strange. Okay.
And he can make those body parts float. Everything can float other than his feet, because his feet need to stay on the ground. So next up, who do you think he is in the story? And do you think he's friendly or rather?
He looks like antagonist, I guess.
Okay.
Maybe maybe he can lie, something like that.
No, he actually didn't eat devil fruit. And his title in the story is the world's strongest swordsman.
Okay.
And the vice captain of Straw Hats, want to become a world's greatest swordsman. So he's like his final fight, but he's friendly towards the Straw Hats.
Okay.
So he actually had an encounter with our previous character on this list, and he chopped him into pieces, as you can see. This is the Buggy the Clown.
Mm-hmm.
You can see it.
Okay. Yeah, it's very useful, I guess.
Yeah. So next up we've got no. Do you think she's friendly or not?
Maybe friendly?
Yeah, you're right.
Um,
This is how she looks. This is how she looks now.
okay, she looks like as she could do magic or something like that.
Actually, she doesn't have any powers that we know of,
Oh,
and she's a princess.
yeah.
A princess of kingdom that is like almost allied with Straw Hats, but they are also a part of world government, who is of course the main antagonist of the entire story.
Okay.
Okay, so our next character. Do you think he's friendly or maybe
I
not?
think no, no friendly.
Okay, so this is how he looks now in the story.
Okay.
Which design do you
Will-
prefer?
I think the second one.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Maybe he's a traveler or something like that.
Yeah, so in the first one he was a marine admiral, so like high in the ranks. And after the time skip, he quit the marines, but he's still like on the less friendly side of things towards the main characters. So what do you think his powers may be?
Maybe what could he do?
As you can see, he has pretty warm clothes on.
So maybe something connected with ice.
Yes, he can transform his body into ice and like create ice, so he can basically freeze over the entire ocean in in just a second.
Okay.
And like a main weakness of devil fruit powers is the fact that they can fall into ocean, and they won't be able to swim. But he can just froze the ocean before he falls into it.
Okay.
And he's traveling alone. So how do you think he's traveling the ocean?
So maybe he does ice desk or something like that, or just throws the way.
He's using
Before-
a bike,
Okay, that's nice.
just freezing over the ocean and
Yeah.
traveling by bike. Okay, so what do you think of this character?
Yeah, he looks as antagonist.
He is a marine, so he's like on the villain side of things, but he is a grandfather of our main character.
Okay.
And he wanted the main character to become a marine, but it turns out a different way. And for his powers, he is just using fists. His name is Garb the Fist,
Okay.
hero of the Marines. And he is like the part of old era. He was like one of the most powerful characters in the story, like before the story has started.
Okay.
Okay, so next up we've got a pretty interesting character. What do you think when you see him?
He looks weird, I would say.
I would say he looks like a pineapple.
Yeah.
Can you agree with
his
that?
hair,
Okay.
so yeah, that's a good one.
That was a joke made in the story, and I laughed pretty hard on that one.
I think he's friendly.
Yeah, he is friendly. He was a vice captain of you can say he was allied captain, but not really. And the captain died in the story, so he is like now the captain, but the crew isn't doing that well without the actual captain.
Okay.
So this is how he looks now.
Oh, I think he looks better.
Yeah, I can agree with that. So what do you think he has like his job or like his role on the previous crew and stuff?
Maybe he I don't know. Maybe he's a comedian.
He's actually a doctor. There are many doctors in One Piece.
Okay.
So his powers are connected to being a doctor. So what do you think his powers may be?
So maybe he can like see with his eyes what's happening in other organism inside.
Oh, that would be interesting. But his actual powers are he can transform into a phoenix. And he can use the flames to heal other people or himself.
Oh, okay.
And unlike the normal zone types, the types that transform you into an animal, normal transformations are just two transformations, but he can transform any part of his body into phoenix. Like he can transform his arms into wings or his legs into claws.
Okay.
Without transforming the rest of his body. Okay, so next up, what do you think he...
Yeah, that's a villain.
Yeah, he looks like a villain. They actually allied in a recent story. But he will definitively fight with the main character. So that was him at his first appearance, and this is him now.
Oh, he has a robot arm.
Yeah, he lost an arm. So, what do you think his power?
Red hair suggests that his power is something connected with fire, but that will not be the case, I think.
He's really explosive, like pretty angry all the time. So what do you think his powers may be?
Maybe he. I don't know.
Okay,
Maybe
so
he
they
explodes.
what?
He explodes.
No, his powers have something to do with his missing arm. Because he controls like magnetic field, you know, he can make scrap metal come to him or like repel it.
Okay.
So his fighting style is just collecting a lot of metal and forming a big hand or mech out of it to crush his enemies. Okay, next up. Do you think this one is allied with our characters or he's an antagonist?
I think he's friendly. He looks like something from India, I would say.
Yeah, so he was an antagonist of his arc. And he lives on Sky Islands. This is like the whole other level to this, that there are Sky Islands in One Piece.
Okay.
Islands in the sky. So and on that islands nobody really know about devil fruit, and he has one. What do you think his devil fruit may be like? If it gave him so much confidence in his abilities.
No, he can fly.
Yeah, his power allows him to fly, but it's a bit more complex.
Maybe levitate.
Okay, so he actually can transform into lightning. His whole body can transform into lightning, and he can send lightning bolts everywhere.
Okay.
And how do you think they defeated him in the story?
How to defeat a lightning? I don't know.
So as you know already, the main character's body is made out of rubber. And rubber doesn't conduct electricity.
Oh, okay.
So he could just punch him.
Okay, that's simply.
Yeah. So next up, do you think this one is on the side of Straw Hats or?
I think that's an antagonist.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know what could he do. Maybe like transform into a bird or something like that.
Oh, okay. His name is actually Don Quixote do Flamingo. So
Okay.
he's like closely connected to flamingos, I guess. But his actual powers are he can manipulate and produce string. And you would say this is a pretty lame power, but he can like this string is really tough, and he can manipulate people with it, like puppets. He also can make clones out of string and something called beard cage.
Oh.
It's a cage that covers the entire island and slowly comes together. So no one can escape from his fighting area. Okay, next up. Do you think this one is friendly or?
I think not.
Okay, this time you are wrong. He's actually a big fan of Straw Hats. He became a pirate because of Luffy, the main character.
He has like teeth standing out.
No. His power is actually to if he crosses his fingers, he can put up a barrier.
Oh, nice.
And he can like reshape the barrier. so he can make stays out of it.
Okay.
As you can see, he's helping out Luffy, and he's pretty happy about that. Okay, so next up, what do you think this character is like?
Definitely flying.
Yeah.
But maybe he's not friendly? She's not friendly?
Yes, she's allied with Don Quixote do Flamingo, so she's not friendly. And this is one of those characters who actually died in the story. There are still people arguing about whether or not she actually died, but she had her heart stabbed, and her room was filled with toxic gas, poisonous gas, and a literal mountain collapsed on her, so she's probably dead. And what do you think her powers are?
Yeah, like I said, she can fly and
Yeah, but that doesn't have anything to do
maybe
with her powers, actually.
maybe produce like a energy wave or something like that.
Okay, so she has like so the Aokiji, the Navy admiral that can turn his body into ice and produce ice, is a
Yeah.
superior version of her, because she can transform and produce snow.
Oh,
And snow is like hotter than ice, so I guess it works.
okay.
Okay, next up, what do you think of this character?
She looks very cute. She's definitely friendly, and is she a queen?
Okay, what her powers may be?
Maybe she can like make that some animals come to her or something like that.
Okay, so she's actually really bad.
Okay.
And her power is to transform people that she touch into animals, into toys.
Oh,
And this power is pretty messed up, because when she transforms someone into toy, the whole world forgets about the person.
oh, that's
And her power actually stopped her from aging. So she is 2 years old in a 8 years old body. It just
Okay.
weird sometimes, because some fruits just have so many abilities inside one, where nothing makes sense why she would stop from aging and get the ability to transform people into toys.
Yeah, that's weird and a bit
Oh,
scary, I would say.
so we reached the end of the
Oh,
video. So which character do you think was the best one out of them?
yeah, I think the last one was.
I think the last
Uh,
one was definitely the most interesting one, because she has like the most overpowered ability that you can think of.
And yeah, the one that transformed into lightnings was also interesting.
Yeah, he would be pretty powerful if not later in the story. Later in the story, we learned how to fight characters who can transform without like their natural weakness. Like his natural weakness was the fact that Luffy was made out of rubber. Yeah, that is one of my favorite characters, actually. I can't wait until he returns into the story. It was only like 800 chapters since we
Okay.
have seen him last. So, do you think there will be part 2 of this video?
Yeah, I think definitely yes. It was funny because actually I didn't know anything about One Piece, but yeah, it was fun and interesting to learn something about it. So yeah, thanks for inviting me to make this video with you.
Okay, maybe we could do a video about a different series. Because you haven't seen a lot of anime. I think the
Yeah.
closest thing that you've seen is Avatar, so
Yeah, but it's not a full anime, you know.
yeah. Okay, so that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't, share this video, and also visit my other YouTube channel where I'm doing some pretty crazy things in Minecraft, so go see it. That's it for today's video. Take care. Bye.
Bye.